Hey, Tim Sykes here. Happy Friday. Thank you for all the well wishes. I'm feeling better. Got a little sick. I'm in Asia working on several of my charities. And the stock market is open here at all night. So I'm like staying up all night. Like doing charity and having some adventures during the day. It caught up with me. I'm sorry. Um, but I'm back. I slept like 11 hours last night. I feel good. A lot to discuss now before the weekend. First, I should mention this Profitly sale. This is for my birthday sale for my 37th birthday a few days ago. This is ending in a few days, so take advantage of it. I'll post a link just below this video. You can save a ton of money on newsletters and guides, which so many of you guys need to be watching. Especially my latest guide, Penny Stocking Framework Part 2, goes over all of the best patterns that I see right now in trading tickers. This is Tim Grittani's guide. He just crossed 6 million in profits. He has to upload, but he made 50 grand the other day on what was that amazing play? I can't even think. It got crushed. Oh, CHEK. It got crushed now, but he rode that up nicely. First, let me talk about FUSZ because I'm seeing a lot of chatter about this. I've been dip buying it several times. Just made another few $100 on Thursday, dip buying the morning panics. This is a classic pump looking chart. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I know there's a lot of people who believe in this. They're like, oh, Oracle, oh, this company is going to make it. Listen, you schmucks, all right? This stock is up from 10 cents, went up to $3. You got your freaking 30 times your price. I mean, that's best case scenario for any penny stock. Now it's crashing 50% in just a few days, just like so many pumps before. And some people just, they're not accepting of it. Um, I posted this thing, comparing FUSZ to these marijuana stocks that I warned about a few years ago. All these people like the Wolf of Weed Street and all these fucking idiot newbies believed in these penny stocks that were involved in weed, saying this time is different, this time is different. No, it wasn't different, and it was kind of interesting. The Wolf of Weed Street and I were both getting followed around by this writer for Men's Journal. Please read this post if you haven't already. The writer didn't know anything about stocks, and he wasn't biased at all. In fact, he actually thought that I was full of BS at first. He believed in the Wolf of Weed Street, and then once I started telling him, wait a minute, these are what pumps do. This is why it's so predictable. The Wolf of Weed Street is just a fucking dumb newbie. And then I was proven right. So this is happening again with these pumps like FUSZ. It's so sad every time. The people who are believing in this company think that I'm like lying. They think that I'm evil. They come up with all kinds of names. This one guy has been tweeting me, and he says, he calls me a punk, and he says that I'm supposedly representing the common guy, literally relishing in their blood, letting desire in their misery. I don't even know what this means. He can't speak proper English, but I don't relish in anybody losing money. I just have to be cruel to be kind because you fucking idiots, people, like don't get it until I'm mean. Like I say, don't buy this stock, it's a pump. And then the stock goes up and they're like, Sykes, you were wrong. Pumps do go up for a little bit of time. And I got to give props to the FUSZ's promoters. They've done a good job. Good job, promoters. But now it's crashing. And this guy is going down, um, down. And it's sad. He's like trying to bring up how Oracle and FUSZ supposedly have some deal. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Even if they do, I guarantee that FUSZ will, screw it up as all these penny stocks do. And this is the sad part. This guy has an average price of, 277, and he has 22. I don't know whether he has $22,000 or 22,000 shares. Either way, he's down close to 50%. And he said, just had my portfolio reinfused with NETE win. Well, NETE is another pump, so at least one pump is working for you. But he's saying market makers getting richer, poor getting poorer. So this is my objection. It's not the poor getting poorer; it's the dumb getting poorer. Um, and I guess it is kind of the poor getting poorer because most poor people are pretty dumb, and they can change it. That's why I'm making this video to help you guys learn what pumps are like. I want to show you the disclaimer of this pump that I just found, this pumper. It doesn't even matter who the pumpers are, FYI. A lot of you guys are like, what pumpers should I follow? Don't follow any of them. They're all full of shit. You don't know when you sign up for their, free email lists, if you're going to be in their first mailing or second mailing or third or fourth mailing. The pump game has changed over the years. A few years ago, several of my top students, really gamed it nicely where they could like change their settings. Like Michael Good has webinars about this for the Trading Challenge students where he changed his Gmail settings and he could get the pumps earlier than other people. And so him and Tim Grittani both made a lot of money just buying pumps when they were being pumped very early on, and you could ride the pumps. Now the game has changed. So even if you do sign up, even if you do tweak your emails, you're probably on like the fourth email list or the sixth email list. The promoters have kind of muddied the waters. What is interesting though is that the promoters have become more comedic in their disclaimers. Um, Obviously all the promoters, in order to be in business these days, they have to use these disclaimers saying, look, we're being paid to promote these stocks. But nowhere in the legal world does it have to say we have to be funny about it. But these promoters are putting out some pretty funny disclaimers. It's kind of hard to be mad at them, even if you lose all your money following their bullshit. This is funny. So I'm just going to read a few passages. Investors should read this disclaimer. Remember, when the campaign ends, the stock of the profiled issuers will crash. Who are we and what do we do? We are paid advertisers, also known as stock touts or stock promoters, who disseminate favorable information about publicly traded companies. And then they say, will everyone receive the information at the same time? No. The information may be sent to potential investors at different times that are minutes, hours, days, or even weeks apart. This is where they're admitting that there are multiple email lists. Look at this. And they're talking about like how they manipulate stocks. How is the potential investor impacted if he receives the information later than others? Typically, the trading volume and price of a stock that we've pumped increases, after the information is provided to the first group of investors. Therefore, the later an investor receives the information, the more likely it is that he will suffer increased trading losses if he purchases the securities. So they're basically saying, if you sign up to our email list, we cannot guarantee you that you're going to be first. And because if you're not first, you'll probably lose money. Look at this. What will happen to the shares that we hold during the campaign? We will sell the shares we hold while we tell investors to purchase during the campaign. So they're basically admitting that they're going to be lying to you. What will happen when the campaign ends? Most, if not all, are penny stocks that are illiquid and whose securities are wide fluctuations. During the campaign, the trading volume and price will likely increase. When the campaign ends, the volume and price of the profile will likely decrease dramatically. Uh, as a result, investors who purchase during the campaign and hold shares when the campaign ends will probably lose most, if not all, of their investment. I agree. This promoter is dead on. I love this. Why do we only publish favorable information? We only publish favorable information because we are compensated to publish only favorable information. So if somebody paid them to publish non-favorable information, they'll publish the negative information too. Look at this. Why don't we publish negative information? We don't publish negative information because we are not paid to publish negative information. We are paid only to publish favorable information. Like, this is hilarious that A, this is true, but B, the fact that they're just admitting it. Is the information complete, accurate, truthful, or reliable? No. The information is a snapshot that only provides positive information. The information consists of only positive content. We do not and will not publish any negative information about the profiled issuers. So investors should consider the information to be one-sided and not balanced, complete, accurate, or reliable. What do we not do? We do not verify or conform any portion of the information. We do not conduct any due diligence, nor do we research. We do not review the conditions, operations, business models, or anything. Where does the information come from? The information is provided from the person who hires us. If we say we make stock picks, are those picks our own? No, they are not. We are compensated to advertise the securities we are told to advertise. What will happen if an investor relies on the information? If an investor relies on the information, the investor will lose most, if not all, his or her investments. Investors should not rely on the information to make an investment decision. And then they get into like who compensated us and stuff like that. And they're basically just saying like we are the worst people to listen to. Look at this. What conflicts of interest? We are not objective or independent. The profiled issuers and parties hiring us have conflicts of interest. I mean, like, what will happen to the shares that we hold during their campaign? They already even posted this. They're posting it again just in case you didn't read it. We will sell the shares we hold while we tell investors to purchase. I mean, this is so wrong on so many levels, and yet it's also pretty funny. Um, Anyways, we're not responsible for any losses. Why are we disclosing this? Because we have to, because it's the law. What are the risks? Like, and then they get a little more boring, a little more illegal towards the bottom. But it's just pretty hilarious that they go into all of this. So don't sign up for any of these free, newsletters. In the past, they've actually been good to sign up because you could have been first. Now they're specifically saying that you will most likely not be first. And there's no way to be first anymore with these plays. And again, even if you are first, most pumps aren't working these days. So FUSZ is a pump. Congratulations to promoters. I wish there were shares to short, but I haven't found any. So I will continue dip buying on the panics. In the morning panics, this is my main strategy the past few days, weeks, months, years. I don't just dip buy panics on pumps. I also dip buy panics on earnings winners. I had a fantastic dip buy right in here. Travel Zoo, which is a former supernova, reported good earnings. And you can see here the stock spiked up from the sevens all the way to the nines. And it got up to nine pre-market. And right at the market open, it dipped. This was on Wednesday, and it dipped from 9 to like 820. I actually got executed roughly 1,000 shares right here at 825. Perfect dip buy. And I recognize it as a former supernova so that it could keep going. Sure enough, it did. I mean, I sold it here in the high eights. I made my few $100. I was happy. I had a fever. I was sick as shit. I just wanted to go to sleep, but I saw my pattern. And now, it's at 1060. So roughly $2.40 a share higher from where I bought it. But dip buys are my thing. FUSZ, my latest dip buy on it was into this panic. I actually had two dip buys. The first one I was a little too early. The second one was better, but still not perfect. It actually had a nice bounce in the afternoon. So dip buys are not always going to be perfect, but at least they're, less risk, I think, and better reward, rather than trying to rely on these comedians. These promoters are trying to be comedians. I don't understand why they would be so funny. And it's funny to me because I know the game and I feel kind of happy that I know the game, but I feel kind of sad that many of you guys don't know how this game works. So I want to put this in black and white, like treasure stocks. I don't care about Oracle. I don't care if they're working with Microsoft. None of these pumps will ever succeed. That's what you have to understand, okay? They can have these deals. Somehow there's some loophole, some screw up. Sometimes these pumps get involved with celebrities, Shaquille O'Neal, Justin Bieber, Des Bryant, I think was one of them. I mean, there's so many different pumps over the years, and all you can do is learn about them. Don't go down with the ship. Not be an idiot, not lose money. I'm sorry to be mean, but I have to be, otherwise you're just going to keep losing money. All of these pot stocks, every single person profiled except me in this article, because I was short, lost money, okay? And they lost not just some money, they lost like nearly all their money. So if you follow the wrong strategy, if you follow the wrong people, you will get crushed. There's a reason why I've been trading successfully for 2 decades. Hold on. Sorry, I got distracted. If you follow the wrong strategies and the wrong people, you will get crushed. Okay? I'm not perfect. I'm not like I know everything. On Tizu and FUSZ, I mean, I had some nice dip buys. I've been having some nice dip buys lately. That's been my main strategy. But I didn't make $50,000 the other day like Tim Grattani did. On CHEK. I don't know why it's not popping up. I don't know. My Wi-Fi's on and off. But, if you want to learn that pattern, then I highly suggest you watch Trading Tickers. But also understand that, with those big gains, and Dux has been having like $50,000 or $100,000 profits too lately. If you want a deal on Dux's guide, email admin@timothysykes.com. But just understand that when you have these $50,000 to $100,000 profit days, these students started with just a few $1,000s and they knew nothing about the markets. Okay, they knew nothing about trading. Tim Grattani knew nothing about trading when he first started with me, 7 years ago. Dux knew nothing about the markets. He found me on Instagram. He liked my Lamborghini. Now he's made over $2 million. And they developed their own strategies. And that's what I want for you guys too. I want you to develop your own strategies. But at the same time, use me as training wheels. See the strategies and the patterns that I'm teaching you and start to recognize, oh, how does this work? Why is Tim dip buying these plays? Why is this not popping up? Can I lose my Wi-Fi? Okay, there we go. CHEK was, maybe my website, my platform just doesn't like CHEK. Oh well. The point is that use the patterns that I teach and then learn to create your own. And that's what I love. That's what I love most about all my top students is that they learn from me at first and then they go off and they create all kinds of things. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. There's so much opportunity right now. These promoters are hilarious. I'm still chuckling about this. I mean, just look at this. Where was this? What will happen to the shares that we hold during the campaign? We will sell the shares we hold while we tell investors to purchase during the campaign. This one line is like the most honest thing any promoter has ever said. And it blows my mind, that they're so upfront about it. But this is what's happening with, most people in chat rooms and on message boards. Like, this is why you can't follow other people's picks. You can't follow other people's alerts. You need to be prepared yourselves. I mean, like on Tizu, by the time I even got my alert out, the thing had already bounced. On FUSZ, it didn't. But I want you guys learning this stuff ahead of time. Several of my top challenge students said, hey, Tim, I really like what you did with FUSZ because, I was in the trade before you. I saw that pattern. I recognized it. Tizu was pretty damn fast. And I had an advantage on Tizu because I recognized it as a supernova from years ago. But if you haven't been trading for that many years, you don't necessarily remember it. But that's what this game is all about, okay? In order to become truly successful, in order to become my next millionaire student, you can't rely on other people's picks. You're going to have to learn the patterns yourselves, and then you're going to have to figure out which patterns you're best at. Maybe you like dip buying morning panics like I do. Maybe you like shorting morning spikes like Dux and Grattani do. Maybe you like multi-day OTC breakouts. Just find patterns that work and then be willing to change, because sometimes a pattern works for a little bit and then it doesn't work the next day or the next week or the next month. So you're going to have to adapt. The stock market is always like a moving target. So don't ever think that you're ever going to be perfect. And you're going to be like, I never have to study again. You're always going to have to be adapting. That said, you can also avoid just, ignorant losses and ignorance by, ignoring and or laughing at promoters and their pumps. FUSZ, I hope that they let it drop some more, because the bigger the panic, the bigger potential bounce. LRGR too, I wanted to bring up. This is a blatant pump right now. Look at this, from under 1 to 6. Go promoters, go. this is going to be a great dip buy when it crashes. And if you can find shares to short, God bless you, because it'll crash soon. I'll see you guys in the chat room. Please, please, please take advantage of this sale. It's ending May 1st, so you have just a few days. Cheers, guys. Shalom.